Hey, it's Vanessa Vaughn Mathews, the founder and chief resilience officer of Asfalis Advisors. Welcome to another episode of the Crisis Corner Cafe. In light of everything that's been happening with the coronavirus, we thought it would be a good time to check in. For those of you who may not know, the coronavirus is a group of virus that started in mammals and in humans is causing respiratory issues and leading to death. To date, as of Super Bowl Sunday 2020, there have been over 100 cases confirmed in 20 countries. Over 250 deaths, about 98% of those have happened in mainland China. The Philippines has reported its first death, and in the United States, we've had over 8 confirmed cases and no deaths. The United States State Department has raised this to a level 4 travel advisory, which means that they are instructing you not to fly to China. And the World Health Organization has declared this as an emergency. So from a business perspective, I think that there's 3 things that you should consider. Number 1 is flu season. So take the same precautions as you would for the typical flu. Wash your hands, cover your cough, cover your sneeze, and ensure that you have plenty of soap and alcohol-based cleaners and sanitizers in your organization for your employees and your customers. It's always good to reinforce the message and ensure that you have signage in the proper places to remind people to continue to wash their hands. Number 2, the scariest part about this virus is the 2-week incubation period. So let's say I was on a plane yesterday and someone on my flight may have had coronavirus. For the next 2 weeks, I may be walking around with coronavirus and not know it, which means I'm going to church, I'm going to my kids' soccer games, I'm going to the doctor's office, I'm going to the gas station, I'm going to have dinner, I'm going to networking events. And through that 2-week time frame, I am infecting other people with every hand I shake and everything that I touch. And it's not until that 2-week incubation period is over where I may begin to now experience signs of coronavirus. And my doctor is then going to backtrack and say, well, where else have you been over the past couple of weeks and who have you potentially affected? So the question I have for you as a business leader is, how are you managing and monitoring your employees' personal and business travel? Are you advising them on the precautions? And how are you then thinking about how do we prevent this from happening inside of our workplace? The third thing that you should consider as a business leader is your supply chain. There are many manufacturing companies, retail organizations, tech companies, and many more that have a significant operation in China. What happens if those employees cannot come to work? What happens if those suppliers cannot ship products outside of the country? What is your continuity plan? Have you thought about your second or third tier in your vendor or supply chains? Have you thought about a backup operation if your Chinese population is unable to do the work? And how does that ultimately affect your organization? So what I would like for you to do is post, share, and comment. What are you doing? What are some best practices that you're taking part of inside of your company? And how can you help to share that information with others to make sure that we're all building a community where we can be resilient? My name is Vanessa Vaughn Mathews, the founder and chief resilience officer of Asfalis Advisors. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Crisis Corner Cafe.